here in Lagos. This is to decide the overall 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th places for this event. 12 points available for winning this one. The clock counting down. We have a start and we are go for the place race with Westbrook. Will Smith's team absolutely shooting ahead. Lucas Ordonez is clearly annoyed and angry after all the misfortune they've had in that team so far this weekend, but he's lost some momentum there. He's using all of his boost and he's moving across and across and across, and there was almost contact. Aoki dives down the inside. Danny Kloss saying, get me out of here, it's chaos, I'll go at the inside line, and he's done so. On the outside is the Giacomo Sacchi machine, and he's just about keeping himself out of trouble. We're on board with Miami now, looking back at AlUla and Andre Solvang. So side by side now for Sacchi on the right and Ordonez on the left. Danny Kloss has made an excellent start, Shelley, trying to get himself out of all that drama.
Yeah, he made a great start here, but look at Westbrook on the boost coming up. So is Danny Kloss on the boost, but the Westbrook boat seems to be catching him when they are both on the boost. That was a great race start with them. I didn't know who was going to get it, but Westbrook did some great lane changing there and trying to shut the door down and put some people in dirty water. So good moves by them.
So it's the two Spanish racing drivers who are good friends off the water. Nearly said the track there, but it's water that they're racing on now. Danny Kloss pulls away and he's on the boost. You see the green boost bar decreasing there on the graphics. And Solvang for AlUla is coming up behind the Miami Racebird in the background. Remember, the points available are 12, 9, 7 and 5 for this place race. It's the 4 teams that have not gone through to join the final. Looking down from the 12th floor, what a great view Westbrook Racing have, and they're looking, of course, for Lucas Ordonez. Now, the last few races earlier on today, Shelley, we've seen the leader take the short lap at the earliest possible opportunity. We'll see whether Danny Kloss chooses to do that in a moment. If he takes the short lap, he'll follow those light blue arrows you see there on the graphics. Let's see what he does.
I would put money on it that he will do it, because that is definitely the way forward. Take your short lap, get an even bigger lead, get into that lovely clean water and get as big as lead you can before you take your long lap. And that's what he's done. Did
you actually put money on it? Because you've won. You didn't, did you? Oh dear. Well, think about that for next time. Westbrook, in the meantime, have not taken their short lap. As we look back now, listen, team radio there, we were looking across the left hydrofoil. And Shelley, you were mentioning earlier on that the current has now changed direction. That's Miami doing the short lap, Westbrook on the standard race lap, and that's worked out well for Giacomo Sacchi. Watch out for Westbrook on your right, says the effective radio communication from Miami, but Ordonez with Westbrook is on the boost and has more momentum down this 600-metre start-finish. That's not worked out well, though, has it, for Westbrook now? They're going to be in all of that turbulent water.
Yeah, I think they were hoping just to get in front of Aoki, and they just didn't. So they,
Miami now, Lucas. Well done.
Yeah, you can listen on that radio there. It's always good to hear what Mission Control are saying to their pilots, giving them all the heads up of where the other boats are and what we're going to do next. So great team effort working race here in the E1 Series. Aoki look like they're doing their long lap. No, sorry, apologies. They're on that standard lap still, which is exactly what I would do. He needs to get an excellent lead. He's got a 16-second lead at the moment. He needs to extend that just by a couple of seconds, and he will be able to do the long lap with no trouble at all.
The voice you heard a moment ago on the Westbrook radio was Matt Wright, who along with Farhan Sheikh is one of the 2 race engineers for Westbrook. They are the 2 men who have the task of communicating with the pilot down on the water. Miami, quite clearly, as you can see, are doing their long lap on the left-hand side of your screen with Giacomo Sacchi, who's making his debut. We're on board now with the 26-year-old, I should say, F2 powerboat driver. As we said before, Shelley, you were telling me earlier on, he's good friends in Monaco. He is from Monaco and good friends with Charles Leclerc, 8 times, of course, a Formula 1 Grand Prix winner for Ferrari. What's the situation? Second half of the place race now. We're on lap 4, and Danny Kloss is still leading but has a long lap to do. Let's see whether he follows the green arrows. I don't think he will at this point, but we'll see. If he feels he's being held up by AlUla, he might want to actually take the long lap. And yes, is he doing so? No, he's not. There's the long lap there. You see the green markers off to the right-hand side. And here's what he's doing then. He's operating the throttle with his right foot. He's on full throttle, and he's got his finger down on the boost, hasn't he? Look how much boost he's using coming out of the last corner.
Using lots of boost. He's in sort of equal trim, a little bit of positive trim there, as he's on that straight bit now, because he will want to save the boost and go into positive trim as he goes around that corner, trying to lift the foils and keep the foils up on top of the water. You do not want the hull of the E1 Racebird to be in the water. You want to be able to see air under there, because that's at its optimum speed, and flying along the water is where you get the best ride.
I'm going to say an early happy birthday to Danny. He'll be turning 37 later this month, but before we get to Miami for the 7th round, look at him there up on the foils. He's coming up to put a lap now on Andre Solvang and AlUla. Andre's been saying that his other powerboat experience doesn't make too much difference in terms of the actual operation of these E1 battery-operated electric Racebirds, but certainly helps in terms of the combat. I hope he knows that, oh, that was close. I was going to say, I hope he knows that Aoki is right behind, and now Danny, sure enough, is doing the long lap to avoid the wake and the wash there. That's sensible stuff, isn't it, from the Catalan, because he could see that there could have been trouble. AlUla's now got Westbrook to deal with. Westbrook is a lap ahead. Oh, Westbrook might lose some time there. They've done their short lap, so now the situation is final lap. Westbrook have taken the lead. We're on board with AlUla, who are a lap down, but with a great view of the leader. However, Westbrook have one more long lap to do. They'll have to do it on this last lap. Are Westbrook far enough ahead of Aoki? It's a 10.7 second margin, Shelley. It could be very close. I would not want to put money on this.
This is going to be very close, because we know that it takes 12 seconds to do the long lap. So this is literally neck and neck between Lucas Ordóñez and Danny Kloss. Who is going to come out in front here? This is all to play for on the final lap now of the E1 series here in the Lagos GP.
Oh, if you're not excited by now, you jolly well should be, as Sarah Price watches on. She's absolutely desperate. This is 12 points versus 9 points, and every point counts in E1. Aoki really could do with winning this race, knowing that the likes of Rafa and Brady are through to the final. Here we go then. You can hear the team radios, the team's communicating with the pilots. Westbrook taking the long lap. They'll lose about 12 seconds, as Shelley has said. Aoki now are on the standard lap, and I think Westbrook have got this, haven't they? Yes, they have. On the boost, on the drag to the line. Danny has more boost available. Westbrook, no, they've done it. Westbrook wins the place race here in Nigeria. Danny Kloss and Aoki are dropped to second place there in the last seconds. It doesn't get much closer than that. Well, that's as pleased as Lucas is going to be under the circumstances. They've had a tricky event here. Picked up a bit of debris earlier on, which messed things up here for Sarah. They also had a battery glitch yesterday. Oh dear, and not for the first time today. Danny loosening his safety belts, and he knows they needed the 12 points there, not 9. That damages their situation. They're currently 3rd in the championship. Wonder how Lucas is feeling. Let's jump on board. Lucas, I know it's been a day of frustration and not really your fault or your teammates, but I guess at least you've salvaged 12 points there.
Yeah, Greg, that's correct. After doing pole position, having proved that we were one of the fastest this weekend, it's a shame not being in the finals, but this feels good for the team, for Westbrook Racing. It was a tight fight with Danny at Aoki, but we made a good strategy in this race and worked well for us. So yeah, now back home. It was great to race here in Lagos. It's a shame not winning here, but next year we'll come back.
Excellent attitude, Mr. Ordóñez. Thank you very much indeed, as they secure 12 points there. It gives us away. I'm glad to see Lucas smiling, the 40-year-old from Spain, at the end of what's been a rather frustrating day for everybody there. Phil, Allen and everybody at Westbrook, and all the best as well, I know, to Guy, who's not working with them here this weekend, but will be back for Miami in November. And ever the loyal teammate, Sarah, is straight there to open the hatch on the top of the Racebird and release Lucas. And that's nice to see some smiles there, because they've had a very frustrating day for one reason or another. Had a few electrical problems back in Monaco, with a problem with the wiring loom and a battery issue, which didn't delay them too badly here yesterday, but certainly their issues of the earlier races today did. That was more due to the conditions than anything else. Westbrook winning then from Aoki, Miami and AlUla, completing your top 4. But the brilliance of the point system here in E1 is that you will score points as long as you can just make the finish. 12, 9, 7 and 5 in this place race. So Will Smith's Westbrook Racing with Lucas Ordonez on board win the place race. That's 12 points. Aoki Racing and Danny Kloss, it's back to the drawing board for them. If they're going to win the title this season, they've got a heck of a lot of work to do in November.